today we've got a beautiful peachy orangey set for you, and we're using all CJP acrylics today. So first of all, I'm coming in with Malibu Sunset, and I'm coming in with that quite wet because I'm going to do a wash of that all over the nail. I'm going to bring that down, make sure it's nice and neat at the cuticle area, but bring that down, fade it at the very tip. I want the very tip, so only 2/3 of the nail. And then I'm coming in with Jupiter, which is a dark peach shade. And this is a fine glitter from the Glitter Fairy. And I'm coming in with my wet brush and I'm pushing it into that wet Malibu Sunset before coming in with these gorgeous squares from the Glitter Fairy in Tangerine. And what I'm going to do is arrange them at the bottom of that nail, all nice and neat around that cuticle area, and then fade them up the nail. So once I'm happy with the placement of that, I do come in with a couple of Fimos. Now, I have Fimos coming out my ears. I've got all sorts. I didn't even realise I was having a little fundle through my drawers. And I thought, I want something nice, something a bit different. So I've got these beautiful butterflies in Fimo pieces. I also put in there some bows and some hearts, but I only ended up using the butterflies. So I put 2 of those onto that little finger with a tiny, teeny bit of clear acrylic. And I'm going to leave that to set up. And then I'm going to move on to the ring finger. Now this is a ombre with Ginger Glow and Malibu Sunset. So I'm first coming in with Ginger Glow, make sure it's nice and neat around that cuticle area, bring it down the side walls, fade that in and then leave that to set. Then I'm moving on to the pointer finger with Amore from CJP. It's a lovely little delicate pink. So I'm going to tuck that in around the cuticle area, down the side walls, and then pull the front of that bead down the nail. Come in with a teeny tiny bit of clear acrylic because I'm going to come in with some of those beautiful tangerine squares again from the Glitter Fairy. So I'll pick them up with my wet brush and push it into that wet acrylic. Again, leaving the tip clear and fading the squares up that nail. Trying to think what I did. I'm a bugger for doing it, leaving it on my phone and then think, I'll voice that over. Then I schedule it up and I always record in advance. And I can't remember what I did. So I'm coming in with a couple more of these Fimo butterflies. I'm going to pop them into that wet acrylic that I've just popped on that nail. So I'll put one there in the left corner. Just nudging that before pushing that into that wet acrylic. Then I'll come in with another one. Pop that on there. Again, push it into that wet acrylic. I think I have one more, to be honest. I'm trying to think. Yeah. I pick up a pretty little one. There's only come in 2 sizes. There's not very many small ones, and I'm going to push that into that wet acrylic and then leave that to set and go back to the ombre on the ring finger. So coming in with a Malibu Sunset, place that bead down, fade it into that Ginger Glow before pulling the rest of that bead down the rest of that tip. Now I work seriously thin, really thin. I paint this acrylic onto the nail. Now I am going to show you just how thin I work because I have been asked about that. So I come in with tiny beads of each colour and fade it up and down until I get that blend right. So that was Ginger Glow, so I fade that from the cuticle area up to the tip. I'm not happy with the coverage on that bit of Malibu Sunset, so I come in with a tiny bit more, fade that up, Still not happy, I can still see through that. So again, apply a little bit more. And I know it looks like you keep applying beads and it gets thicker and thicker, but I work seriously thin. And this is why I'm going to show you just how thin it is when I've finished. So I work on that blend and then keep my sides in. I try and keep the shape as much as possible. I know sometimes it is hard and it is difficult depending what sort of design you do. But if you can do as much as you can with your brush, if you can get into the habit of that, then there's less and less filing to do. There you are. And that's how thin that nail is once I'm happy with that blend. So I'll leave that to set before going in to cap it. And I'll move on to the middle finger. And I wasn't quite sure what I was doing here. So I placed down and more at the cuticle area and I tuck that in. And I start to pull that bead down. And then I think, I'll colour block it. I know what I do, and I have a bit of a brain fart. So I decide actually at this point exactly what I'm going to put on, because I have some gorgeous, and I've had it for months and months and months. I think I got it in December. It's AliExpress and it's luminous spider gel, and I've got about 4 colours. And I'm like, I'm going to use that. So I square that off. Then I come in and the next section is going to be a little bit of marble. But that ginger glow kind of takes over. It's really, really pigmented. And it kind of swallows up Malibu Sunset. And then I use a bit of coconut milk. And because I'm not entirely happy, I come in with teeny tiny beads of the coconut milk, Malibu Sunset, and thread it through that ginger glow so I get the nice marble effect that I'm after. I did make this rather difficult on myself by marbling such a small section. Plus I've got to butt it up to the wall. I need to keep it thin because I need to cap it. So I've got all these things going through my little brain, and it is only a teeny tiny little brain that I have. Anyway, here I am threading through that coconut milk, like I said, just to give that marble effect. And then I do square that off. Then I'm going to come in with a small, teeny tiny bit of clear acrylic on that plastic tip and bring in some of those Tangerine beautiful squares from the Glitter Fairy and just put a few on that tip. Once I'm happy with the placement of those beautiful squares, I then come in with a little butterfly and I pop that on the bigger part of that tip area, and then I cut one in half and I put that right at the point of those beautiful stilettos. So this is what it looks like before capping, and that's how thin I working with the Fimo pieces. So I am going to show you the capping of this now. So the first thing I'm going to do is just cap that marble. This isn't my final cap. What this is a wetter bead of clear acrylic so that it moves into those crevices caused by the marble and level it all out. And then because the tip is slightly glass, I will then use a really small wet bead there and let it fall down the nail and help that along. Try not to manoeuvre that as much as possible so I don't get any air bubbles in there. And that will give me a beautiful glassy tip. Then what I'll do is pick up a normal bead of clear acrylic and I will use this to cap the whole nail, getting my apex, the structure and everything. So I just need to do that. Then what I'll do is clear cap the rest of these nails. I will then file and buff them off camera, ready for the nail art. So I point the finger down so gravity does its work and help with that bead, and then I will make sure all the sides are in, that I'm perfectly happy, and then this is it after it's fully capped. So I've got my apex in there and it's ready for filing. So that's all done and dusted, and I'm coming in with this from Savvyland. I will pop the code below of which one it is. Now, I use my fingers. I've tried using orange picks, dotting tools, getting a right mess. So I like to use my fingers when doing spider gel. So I'm going to use my fingers, get that nice line, put it into place where I want it on that middle finger, and then I'm just going to mop up any that might have touched the skin. I try not to as much as possible. Tidy up just at the side there because I like it to go round where that colour block is on that particular nail. Now, I dip my fingers in again and oh God, I get a right handful and it's far too much. But I'm positioned for my nails. I'm like, what shall I do? So I put it on the back of my glove and I think I'll put it there because I can always go back and pick up some more if I need it, because I'm thinking it's not going to cure till it's actually in the lamp. So I'll pop it on the back of my hand so I've got a little bit I can work with. And on this ombre, I am going to do strands of this luminous spider gel. Now it's orange in colour, then you put it in the lamp and it glows like a really neon yellowy orange. It's beautiful, it's really nice. So I'm going to string that all the way up and down this nail. I like to use really thin strands. You've seen me do this lots of times, but I wanted to do it actually on the nail. So once that's done, I will fully cure it in the lamp for 60 seconds before coming in with Topcoat. So I'm using Tack Free Top Gloss from CJP, and because it's the spider gel and it's protruding slightly from the nail, I will actually make sure that that top coat doesn't puddle around those lines. So you see me go one way and then you see me take it off with the next. I need to make sure that the nail's still covered in top coat, but obviously not get pools around there. So I'll finish off with this last nail, and then I'm going to pop a couple of little gold stars into that wet top coat on that ring finger, and I'm going to put it on the actual string of the spider gel. Then what I'll do is pop that into the lamp for a full 60-second cure. Then guys, that's the end of the video. Now I do show you a clip at the end where it lights up, and then a clip of the finished design. I really do hope you enjoyed this video today. If you have, please take a moment and hit that thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed already, I would absolutely love it if you would. Thanks for watching guys, and until next time, bye.